Hey everyone, it's Nightlight9, and in this video we're going to go through the new event boss, Dark Army Leader EX2. We'll jump right in and I'll show you my party. It's about 114,000 combat power, and just a quick explanation of what we're trying to achieve here. So first and foremost, you want somebody on your team to have some sort of magical attack decrease, right? So a magical attack debuff for the boss. If you don't have Tiger Fangs for Tifa, you can substitute that for Barrett with Solid Bazooka or Red 13 with his Junk Collar. And if you don't have any of those, good old D-Faith Materia will also work. It's not quite as good because it's only low potency, but it's better than nothing, and you can still do it. You just have to be a little bit more strategic and keep everybody a little bit more topped up. Generally speaking, I'm looking at everybody's HP and magic defense kind of primarily, and then as a secondary, you do want to have a decent amount of DPS because it is easier if you can get him down before he does his third round of his AoE attack. So, other than that, I'm using Somersault on Tifa, and this is just for the debuffs to his physical and magical defense so that I can DPS a little bit faster, because none of my guys have even 2,000 on either one of these stats, so I'm trying to get that done relatively quickly. These are the weapons that I've equipped, mostly free stuff, and it's just for stats. Aerith is set up to do AoE heals. Again, notice she's got pretty great magic defense. Her HP is not super high. I only have one person over 5,000. And again, everybody's got some form of wind damage because he is weak to wind. Everybody's got some form of, circle sigil break. And you really only need about 2 people with circle sigil break. You can completely break him just fine with that, while another person kind of does more damage during that time. And then Zac. Zac here has, I believe, the lowest magic defense, which he's compensating for with the highest health pool. Again, physical and magical attack are fine, but they're not very high. Wind damage, sigil break, and he's using Ifrit, and that is just because that'll do more damage than any limit that he has. So we'll get into the fight. Pay attention, he does create 2 add-on units. I just ignore them. But he will, if you don't kill them, he will absorb them to buff his magic attack. And that's one of the main reasons that we'll be using some sort of magic attack debuff, in this case with Tifa. In the beginning, I'm just going to do DPS, just cast the Aurora. I have noticed that this fight is considerably easier if you can sneak in more damage with your healer over time. It just makes everything go a little bit easier, because we will want to try to take him out, like I said, before he does his final iteration of his bigger move. Here I'm just going to let the bar charge to do my Curaga right after he casts this Glacial Breath. Switch our stances. Make sure we keep doing the basics. And then we will switch over to Tifa. We want to get in. Oh, she already did the upper shot, which is great. We'll get in the somersault, and that is just, again, to help our DPS. And you can keep track of his debuffs up here as we go through this, because there's kind of a lot going on. But Maleficent Surge, that's the move that we don't want him to get off a whole lot of times, especially if you don't have some sort of AoE magic defense buff for your team, because it will start to hurt quite a bit. But if we just keep up on our DPS, we should be able to take him out before he gets to that point. Here it comes, marching order, sigil break. I don't even heal during this. I just continually DPS and charge the bar for Aerith. Always somersault as soon as it's up, because we just want to constantly have him debuffed for additional damage. I'm just going to jam Ifrit as soon as it was up, especially because it just happened after somersault, so I know he's, taking a little bit extra damage. And the reason I don't heal there is because I know as soon as I break him, I'm going to get a full bar, and I will be able then to immediately start healing everybody up. So we're in really good shape here. We're just going to keep DPSing. And so this is the one right here that you would like to be able, ideally, to DPS him down before he gets a chance to cast this. If you can't, Saving Grace, this is where I would normally use it. I'm not going to use it, so you can kind of see how much damage it does. It's pretty significant there. You could save Aerith's Limit Break for that part. That is also perfectly reasonable. And I had him debuffed quite a bit, so that also helped. But pretty much you just want to make sure that you live through that, because then you should be able to DPS him down before he gets it off the third time. I think earlier I said before 3, but you really want it before that second time. And that's the fight. So hopefully this helped you clear it. If it did, subscribe for more content. I put out guides pretty regularly whenever any content comes through. And if there's ever content that I haven't made a guide for, if you leave a comment, I would be happy to make one for you. Thanks.